Hi developers, I'm Ivan Mesa. Today I'll walk you through the process of cloning a full-stack Twitter clone utilizing the newest technologies available. We use React is used for server-side rendering, also in the front end to manage pathways and render the relevant page components. This removes the requirement for the user to download a JavaScript file prior to loading the page. Tailwind CSS works best when less code is written, which accelerates the development process. Application developers may easily deal with database with Prisma and also store, manage, retrieve data with MongoDB while developing apps with most programming languages. We will also use NextAuth to implement authentication. The purpose of NextAuth.js is to prevent user account passwords from being to be stored. Use a custom credentials provider to enable logging in using a username and password saved in an existing database of users and passwords kept in a database that already exists, in addition to picture upload, and that the whole page will be TypeScript written and completely responsive. Thus, this tutorial is suitable for both novice and expert developers. Let's get started building a comprehensive stack. While users are logged in, they can still view the tweets. However, certain actions such as liking or following a user will cause a login model to ensure that users can post tweets as well. Users will be able to fully edit their name, username, bio, and profile cover image using file upload. Those changes will be reflected in real time. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. Now I'm dragging my working folder YouTube. This is going to go into our Visual Studio Code. That's my code editor of choice. And if you don't have it, please go and download it. I'll leave the links for where you can find Visual Studio Code. Now inside this folder called YouTube, then I'm going to run npx create dash next dash app, then let's say dash type script. Okay, press enter after that. Now I'm going to install these following packages. Next 14, create an app at next 14.1. So what you want to name the project. So I'm going to install the name of the project. I'm going to call it Twitter. You can see that I'm installing create next app at 14. That's the latest. Then Tailwind ESLint, let's say yes. Then would you like to use Tailwind CSS? Let's say yes. So again, would you like to use source directory? Let's say no. Okay, would you like to use the app directory? Let's say yes. Let's say app router, no. Would you like to use app router? Then let's say, would you like to customize the default import alias? Let's say no. Then would you like to customize the default import alias? Let's say yes. Then would you like to import alias which is configured? Let's say just press enter there. Okay, now the installation is happening. You can see that I've got now the folder called Twitter that has been created. So the installation will take a while. So I'm going to pause this video for now. Then I'll return when the installation has been completed. Okay, so you can see now the installation has been completed in success. So now I'm going to run npm run dev to see our development server. So okay, problem is that I did not change the directory, so I'm going to say cd Twitter. Then let's change here. Now we are in the right directory, so I'm going to say npm run dev. Okay, you can see that now I've got our NextJS 14.1.0 at localhost 3000. This is my development server localhost 3000. So this is where we go to our NextJS 14. So now I'm going to go inside the pages for, okay, this is my API. delete this file hello.ts, come inside the public folder. Okay, apex folder instead. Let's go into index.tsx. Okay, go on to line number 8, then minimize this main. Then let's highlight it, the main, and we are going to delete this main to come out with it. And let's say div. This is an empty div now. Okay, let's just use YT Twitter clone. This is just for sampling data. Then let's come inside our browser. You can see that I've got YT Twitter clone there. So it's not showing that my browser is being updated instantly. Inside our global CSS file, we're going to delete this CSS. We don't need it. Let's come and delete everything, but leave out the first 3 lines: Tailwind base, Tailwind components, and Tailwind CSS. So if I reload this page, I should have these lines disappearing. But they can see that I've removed this CS styling. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to come inside a global CSS. They can see I've got all these, the last 3. These are very important. Let me have root apply full background black, then also body. Let's apply height full and background black. They can see I've set the background to black. Yeah, but the text is still appearing. Yeah, because I think the problem is that the color of our text is also black, has been overshadowed by the background. So now we come inside our app.tsx folder. Okay, create some space there inside the return. And let's have some open and closing brackets. Okay, let me put some a component called layout. Then I'm going to have let me drag this one inside the cloth, or this inside the layout. Okay, now we're going to create inside our folder Twitter. We're going to create a new folder called components. You can see that inside app.tsx I've got an error there, so I'm going to create a folder called components, because the component layer does not exist. So I'm now going to, inside components, I'm going to create a file called layout.tsx. I have to import this component called layout so that I remove this error that I've got. So let me run RAFCE to create the function. Okay, you can remove line 9, then first line, sorry, line number 1. So you can now see that I now need to go inside our app.tsx folder so that I can import the layout, so that I've got this error removed. Okay, they can see that the layout has been removed. Now I'm going to create an interface. Let's have the interface. Okay, interface layout props. Then let's have children, our first props, which is going to be a React dot React node. So let's pass the interface props. We just say const layout React dot fc, and let's have inside the props that we created, the layout props, come in, drag it and paste it inside the brackets. Then inside the closing brackets, we extract our props. So this is going to be children. Then come here and let's have children. Okay, let's pass our children. There you can see now. So I'm now going to put some Tailwind styling using class name. I'm going to say height. Let's set it to screen, to the height of the screen. H screen. Background BG dark. Then also let's have a div of H full, maximum auto, X large, PX30, maximum width 6SL. So now we're going to have another div also inside. We wrap inside the div. So you've seen that we have now wrapped the props children inside 3 divs. So I'm going to style this one. I'm going to give it some Tailwind CSS properties. Let's give it class name. We are going to give it grid columns 4 and H full. Let's have another div and let's wrap it. Let's wrap our children inside the 4th div with class names, with class name. Column span 3, on large screens, column span -2. So you can now see that by standard the columns are 3, then on large screen these columns are span 2, then border XXL -L with inside brackets 1 pixel. Then let's say border neutral -neutral. Then now you can see that I've done that. Now I'm going to go inside our index.tsx file. Okay, you can see that I've got this Twitter children. So I'm going to give it a class name of text 3xl-3xl. text dash sky dash 500. Then if I reload this page, you can see all our text has been enlarged. Then let's come inside our layout TSX file. So you can now see that I've got this inside our, so I'm now going to create another folder called layout. Then let's create inside our folder layout, let's create a file called sidebar.tsx. Okay, sidebar, okay, like that one. That's the file sidebar.tsx. So now I'm going, let me close some folders which I don't need there. So let's run rafce inside of sidebar.tsx. So you can now see that I've got this function. You can now delete the code on line 1. Okay, there I have got it. So now I'm going to say directly below the line number 9, I'm going to import our sidebar like that. Okay, now I've got our sidebar. So we can now see that it's reporting an error because we have not yet imported sidebar. So let's go right onto the top of the page. Let's import sidebar from .layout slash sidebar. You can now see if I import this one, okay, I can see that there's a typing error. Okay, like this. You can now see that I've got a sidebar. You can now see that I'm trying to make it more different columns. So now let's come inside or create a new terminal. Okay, for the new terminal, we are going to, so let's change to CD Twitter. Okay, now I've got, I'm inside. Let me make sure that I'm the directory by typing list. You can see that I've got all those files that we're working on. So now I'm going to say clear. So now for the clear, we're going to run npm react icons so this will help us install our React icons. We've now installed our React dash icons. So these are the icons that we are going to be using. So now I can clear the first terminal. Okay, the first one, yeah, right at the top there. Now I'm left with the second one. So now inside, I want to restart the server with the updated installation. So I'm going to say npm run dev. Okay, our development server is now ready. So, but I need to fix this error. It was a typing error, small letter B, not capital letter B on sidebar. Then you can see now I've got the error gone. So we can now launch our development server inside our Google Chrome. So now there we've got our local host 3000. Okay, we've got inside our sidebar.tsx file. This is inside our components /4 layout /sidebar tsx.tsx. So I'm going to add some const variables there. Okay, I'm just going to save time. I'm just going to paste this since there are many, but you can see that I've added 3 consts there. You can find this const inside my code. So I've got an icon BS house view, icon BS bell view. So these are just, then I've got icon FA user. So these are the three icons that I want to add. Remember, we've installed our React icons, so we're going to be using these ones. But you can see that there is an red underline, so that there's an error there. So I need to have to import these ones from React. So I've imported BS house view and BS bell view and FA user from React icons. Yes, they can see on line 1 and 2, then the errors will automatically, as expected, go away. So now we've got our icons that we've installed. So now I'm just going to put in some code inside the divs. Then I'm going to say class name column span -1 h full prr4 mid screen p dash prr6. Then I'm going to create another div inside. Let's start this div. We're going to give it a flexi column items end. So now I've created a space wide light screen 250 pixels. Now I'm going to add a sidebar logo there. Okay, they can see if I do this, I'm supposed to get an error. Okay, they can see I've got an error because sidebar logo is not defined. So that means we automatically are aware that we need to import this one. So I'm going to go inside my file called layout, my folder called layout. Then I'm going to create a file called the one that we're trying to import, side logo, capital letter S, side, capital logo, capital letter L. Yeah, like this one. So it's a TSX file. Yeah, like this one there. So now we're going to run a function RA. Okay, let me close some files which I no longer need. Okay, let's run RAFCE. I've imported sidebar logo from side dot forward slash sidebar logo. They can now see that this error automatically goes because I have successfully imported. Is we no longer have any problems inside our project. So if I reload this page, you can now see I'm now changed to our normal state. So now inside this bar code sidebar logo, I'm going to import use router from next router. Then I'm also going to import bs Twitter from react icons / bs. You don't need to install use router because we got it from saying next.router. We installed it when you're creating our application. Now I'm going to const router use router. So now I'm going to create a div with class names rounded full h14 width 14 px 14 flex item center justify center on hover background blue 300 on hover opacity 10 then cursor pointer. So this is the styling that I'm using over this div. Now I'm going to have our component for the bs Twitter with size 28 color white. So this is the Twitter icon that we've just styled there. Now I'm going to add on click, which will direct us to router.push on the div. So now if I go inside my sidebar.tsx, I'm going to add an open and closing brackets. So I'll say items map item inside to a function called sidebar item, then key items.ref, then href items.ref icon item.icon label item.label. So I'm going to add, so you can now see that I've got an error on sidebar item which needs to be created. This is an undefined one. So come inside for the layout and create a file called sidebar.item.tsx. Then let's run RAFCE. Now this function, I'm going to remove line 1. We don't need it. So these are const sidebar. So you can now see that I still get an error, but so that means I need to import it. So I'm going to say import. Okay, you can just copy this style. Okay, just below import sidebar logo. So we need to replace the correct name and come and say import sidebar item from dot / sidebar item, like this. This will solve everything. So now we are inside the console. We're going to say import icon type from react. So I'm going to add an interface sidebar items label string icon string. So I've got this one. So let me extract the sidebar items props which I've declared there. So now I'm extracting label icon and href on click. As you can see, this is just similar to what we had on the top. So now I'm going to have div flex row item center, and then let's have another div inside where we are going to style this div to with class names. Relative, rounded full, h14, width full, width 14, flex item, justify center, padding 4, and then cursor pointer, line screen, it's hidden. So remember to add some hover slash big slash 300 and big. Then let's have an icon size 28, color white. So if I come back and I reload my web page, then you can see now I've got those three icons. They are now appearing well correctly after we have styled them. You can see that they've got a rounded in the height of 14. So now you can now see that we're in the color of white there. So now we're going to add okay, we're going to say a div outside. I'm going to say for a div outside, I'm going to give it relative hidden, last screens, flexi, items, row, gap, -4, P4, rounded full, on hover BG, dash select, the 300, then on hover BG, dash opacity, dash 10, then cursor pointer, items, dash center. Then I'm going to add an icon size 24, color white. Then let's have a padding, paragraph text with class name hidden, large screen, block text dash white, text dash XL, extra large. Then let's have a label. Okay. I'm going to set a label there. Okay. So now you can see that this is the current state of our home page. Of our home page. Sorry. Now we are going to go inside our sidebar.tsx. So for this sidebar.tsx, I'm going to import sidebar item. Then I'm going to add an on-click event. So on clicking, this is going to trigger this function icon. Is supposed to be log out. Then let's have a label with okay, it's recording an error. So means we need to import label bg out. Yeah, by logout. So it's just a sign, it's just a rect icon for logout. Then what happens on click events? Okay, now you can see that I've got now the logout. There we have got the logout icon. There it is, the logout icon. You can now see it. So I'm going to set a label, which is going to be a logout text. Logout. So if I come and check on my updated browser, logout, yeah, it's displaying logout there. It's now correctly logout. Then I'm going to add the sidebar tweet button. So this one, you can now see that it's recording error. Means I have to import sidebar tweet button. So I'm going to save it as a file, like I'm doing there inside the file or folder layout. So yeah, like this one. Let me just come and put some .tsx at the end there. Okay, now I've added the .tsx, you can see. So what we are going to be having, okay, now let's, okay, inside our function, I'm going to set bar.tsx. I'm going to run rafce. So this will create our function. This is my shorthand for creating a function, as you've seen in my previous examples. Okay, no, there we've got it. So now let's just remove line number 1. It's not necessary. So inside the file sidebar.tsx, I'm going to import sidebar tweet button. So I just copy the same style on import sidebar item. Okay, so I'm just going to replace it with our correct name sidebar tweet button. Come inside there and let's just paste, replace. Okay, let's replace the other one as well. Dot sidebar item tweet pattern. Yeah, like this one. Then we can have our errors go. So I'm going to import use router, const use router, const router use router. Then I'm going to add a div on click is equals to read router dot push. Then I'm going to set a div class name mt6 large screens hidden rounded full h14 width 14 padding 4 flexi items center justify center background sky 500 or over bg opacity 800. Then transition, we are styling our div there, cursor pointer. Then let's add in fa feather. This is just an icon, then with the size of 24 and the color of white. Okay, it's just recording an error, I cannot find name further, but don't worry. Let's add another div with empty screen 6 hidden large screen block px4 py-42. So now rounded full bg sky 500 over background opus cursor pointer. Let's have a paragraph with x check with x. Okay, now you can see that I'm just going to import feather, if a feather from rect icons, that this will remove our error. If I come back and reload my page, I'm supposed to get an error there. This is an odd error, so it is gone. So you can now see that I've got, yeah, this is an odd error, it's gone. So on reloading the web page, you can now see that I've got this pattern with the paragraph text x, then a feather. A feather is displayed on mobile view. Yes, this is wonderful. This is just perfectly wonderful. Just perfectly wonderful. On large screens, the feather this icon disappears, but on small screens it reappears. So that's how I make my website mobile responsive. You can now see. We're going to minimize, we're going to closing all files that we don't need. Then let's come with, okay, I've got the styles folder there. I've got my layout to tsx file there. I've got inside our layout to tsx file on line 17. I'm now going to add a following button, follow bar. Yeah, this is a component, so it's going to self close automatically. I'm going to get, I'm supposed to, okay, let's create a file called follow bar, capital letter bar.tsx. Now let's come inside RAFCE. Okay, so now I've created the React follow bar function. So now I'm getting an error there as that was expected. So I'm going to import follow bar from its components / layouts / follow bar there. That will automatically remove our follow bar. So we are adding the follow bar to the extreme right side of the screen of our screen. So I'm just going to style this div with pxy, py, for hidden and large screen display block. Then inside this div, we're going to create another div with the class name bg-neutral rounded-xlp-4. Then I'm going to h2 text with class name text-white, text-xl, font-semi-bold with the suggested x to follow. That's the text that will go inside the. Then you can now see that onto the extreme right side, we now have got this follow bar component appearing. Then let's have a div with the class display flex columns gap 6 8 empty-4. So now I'm going to add a listings. Okay. Now if I reload this page, okay, I've got the layout, I've got the IPI. Let me come inside the index.tsx file. With this one, this is the text with the y Twitter clone. This is the index.tsx file. Index.tsx. So for this one, I'm going to delete everything that was there, and let's have a header with label home. This is just a label header, a component. Let me just put some proper spacing there. Okay, I'm just going to call it label x home. Okay, page x page. Yeah, that's the label that will appear. So if I go inside our components folder, I can now see we need to create this header because it's reporting an error. So I'm going to say components folder. I'm going to say header.tsx. Let's create a file called header.tsx, and then let's come inside our header.tsx. I'm going to say rafce to just create a function there. So I've got this function. So now I'm going to import header from add components //header. Then you can see now that will automatically remove our request for header. So now I'm going to come inside. You can see that my terminal is successfully running up. So I'm now going to come inside our browser, and as we check, there is the progress. You can see that automatically we remove the previous text that was there in the middle of the screen. So I'm now going to say X page. Okay, by doing so, if I come back inside my browser on reloading the page, okay, yeah, I can remove this one, line 1. Okay, let's import router and use callback. And then we have imported reuse router and use callback, all from Next and React respectively. So I'm going to declare const header is equal to const router from use router, const handle back is equals to use callback with the function of, okay, with the function of use router back, and let's add the dependency array router. So now I'm just going okay, yeah, that was correct. We need to remove this one, yeah, like this one, so it becomes constant header with those declarations below. Let's import, let's create an interface with the header props. This we show back arrow, which is optional, to boolean, and then label, which is a string, and let's import react header props, and let's now extract those props, show back arrow. And so now I'm just going to replace this text that I had for the home page. Let's give it a class name of bd box 1 border neutral 800 p-5. Then let's have a div with class name flexi row and item center gap 2. Then let's have a show back arrow, that one, and inside brackets and bio arrow back, on click handle back, color white, size 20. So and then let's have a Tailwind CSS styling there that will go. I'll give it a cursor pointer of our 70 transition. Then let's have h1 tags. For these h1 tags, I'm just going to give a class name of text white, text large, font semi bold, and then let's paste a label there. So you can now see that I've got the by arrow back, which is recording an error, and then the label text, which is recording an error on line 32 and 21 respectively. Label is not defined. So what we are going to do right at the top of the page, we are going to put some importation. Let's import the by arrow back from rect icons. Yeah, this will the label is not defined. Okay, that's how you. Okay, so on the props, let's add a label and a show back arrow. Yeah, this will help us solve this error. So we have successfully extracted our label. Yes, there it is. Now I've got X page. That is successfully loading there. So now we are going to create a file called button.tsx. This is the next file that we're going to create. So for this file, I'm just going to close all the files that I don't need, and let's come inside our button.tsx file. So now this is my button.tsx file. I'm going to run an RAFCE const, then remove line 1, then let's save const button. So now let's create a button component inside this function, inside this return. I'm going to add a button. Okay, I'm going to add to button. Then for this button, this is not a component, so you don't have to import it. This is just a button with button tags. Let's create an interface for button props, and label is a string. Secondary is optional to boolean. Then full width is optional and is boolean. Large is boolean, optional boolean. Then on click is directory void. Then disabled is optional boolean. Outline is optional boolean. Then let's save these props react button props, and let's extract our props. So we are going to have label, secondary, full width, large, on click, disabled on line 7, outline on line 8. So this is at the props that I'm going to. I'm just going to add a label. Now it's going to show, not going to show me because I've extracted label on line 12. So you can see how this time we avoid this error. So I'm going to style this one on line 23, disabled opacity 400, disabled case are not allowed. Now I'm going to add a rounded full font semi over transition border, and let's say full width is optional to width, full width on large screens, and then on small screens with fit. Then let's say secondary BG wide, then secondary 80. So these are stylings that we are styling, which are optional with variables outline, background transparent. So they will help us on mobile responsiveness. Let's say disabled, then on click. So now this is just a perfect styling. That's how you do good on styling line 32 to line 38. That's how you do good to make your site more responsive. Then let's go inside our app TSX. Then let's add opening and closing brackets which are empty. Then let's wrap everything inside this. This will just be good. And then let's add a modal. Okay, it can be, it's just one soft closing, so I have to delete this one as well. So now you can now see that I've got a modal there, so it's recording an error. That means I have to create a modal. So I'm just going to go inside the components folder, and we start off by creating a file called modal.tsx. Then let's run a function RAFCE. This is our shorthand for creating this function. Okay, now you can now see that I've got model. So I now need to import, just copy line 2, then what we did on line 2, then let's paste that one there, and now let's replace. So you're going to have the name model, the import model from it /components /model. Yeah, like this one. This will automatically remove the error. So now if we've successfully imported our model component, let me close some files which I don't need there. Now we're going to go inside our model. Let's import, use callback and outline, II outline close. Then let's import button from button. So I've imported 3 things. Let's create an interface model props. So is open is optional to boolean, and then let's have on close is equals to void, on submit is void, title is optional to string, body is optional to react element, footer is optional to react.element, action label is a string, disabled is optional to boolean. So now let's import react dot fc model props. Then let's extract these props from line 6 to line 13. So I'm going to extract these props here inside these brackets. On close is open, on submit, title, body, footer, action label, and disabled. So I've successfully imported all these props. Const handle close is equal to use callback, which will direct you to a function, which is if disabled on from line 13, return on close. Yeah. Then let's pass on the dependence. On close and disabled. Then it's a const handle submit is equals to use callback if disabled, return nothing, and then on submit, then let's pass on our dependence on submit and disabled. Yeah, like that. Okay. Then if not is open, return now. Okay, then I'm putting some empty closing brackets there on line 38 and 40 to remember our div. Then let's start the div and give it some properties. There I'm going to say justify center, item center, flexi, overflow dash x hidden, overflow dash y auto, then fix, insert dash 0 z dash 50, outline none, focus outline none, then bg neutral 8-800, bg opacity dash 70, div class name relative width full large screen w 3/6 margin y6 margin auto large screen max dash 3 large h full large screen height dash auto. So now I'm going to set content, then div class name h full large screen auto border 0 rounded large shadow dash large relative flexi column width full background back, then outline none. Then okay, that's done for the styling this div. I've successfully started this mod.div. Let me create some space there. By looking at the browser, you can see now this is the progress that I've made. So I'm now going to come back inside my mod.txt file. I'm going to comment out header. So this is a header. Then let's style this div with flex item center, then justify between heading y 10 rounded dash t. Then let's go outside this div. I'm going to have h3 text with class name text 3 large of font semi-bold text white. Button, then let's have a button. This is the button. So then we are going to have for the button I'm going to split it a py margin l auto, then border 0 text white. So you can now see that I have styled this button text, then offer opacity 70 transition. Then on click, I'm going to add and click over the button, then handle close. Then let's have I outline close. This is just a rect icon outside. Then on click, we have got the handle close on this panel. So you can now see that on click, outline close is successfully been imported and is added there at the top at line 2. So that's why we don't have any errors when you imported this. So I'm going to give it a size of 20. Then let's comment out this is a body. So I'm going to give a div relative pay y10 flex auto. So now this is a div inside. So I'm just going to give it exactly body props. Then I'm going to add a footer with a div with flexi columns gap 2 p10. Then let's have add a button inside with soft closing button. You can now see that this component has been imported on line 3. That's why we didn't get an error there. Then let's add footer disabled. This button is set to disabled. Then label action label. Then secondary full width. Okay. It's not yet appearing. This model is not yet appearing. So you can also it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. not there. I need to resolve what's going on line 10. Why is it? Let's say is open so that it is displayed this model. Then let's have title display model. So if I set it to is open and display model, so you can now see that there it is. It's now open. It's now it's not being displayed. You can see how the model is not being displayed because I've set it to is open. So okay, see, that's how it's now appearing after being styled like I was doing inside the model.css file. So you can now see that with this button. So I'm not going to say action label submit. Okay, on reloading the page, you can see submit, action label submit. There is the text submit is now appearing there. So every time you can I've set it to is open. That's why you can see that it's by default being displayed. So temporarily we are going to remove this model, and let's also remove line 4. But don't forget we have created it. So this is just for our coding, to simplify our coding. That's why I'm deleting it. Come inside your components folder, create a file called input.tsx. Then let's run RAFCE or shortened. Then let's see, we can now see that I've created a const input. So I'm going to create an interface which we're going to with input props. Then let's place a placeholder which optional string, value optional to string, type optional to string, disabled optional to boolean, on change which is an event, react change event. Then let's set it to void. H input is being set to boolean, label is optional to string. Don't let me put in react dot fc input props. So now let's extract the props that we have got, place them inside brackets, placeholder, value, place type which is equal to text, then disabled, on change, disabled, and label, last label. So these are we've extracted the props that we created when we created that is inside the interface. So now I'm just going to give this styling. I'm going to set it to div class name with full. Then I'm going to give an input with closing, open and closing. Then let's say disable to disable, on change to unchange, value to value, placeholder to placeholder, type to type. Then let's say class name which is equal to with full, style this one to with full. Then P4 text large, then black, background black, border 2, border neutral 800, rounded outline, and text wide, then focus B sky 500, focus border 2, transition. So this is how I've styled this input button. It's an input component, you can call it. Then let's say if disabled, opacity, cursor, and background neutral. So if I do this, you can see now the input is okay. Let me just put in some spacing so that you are able to see clearly the extracted props. These are the props that we extracted. Yeah, you can now see. Okay, if we go down below the page, now let's create a side terminal. Okay, for this side terminal, we're going to say cd Twitter. Okay, let's run npm install Zastad. npm install Zastad. Then we've got Zastad installed. Let's kill the first component, and we are going to do some rerun the web browser. So I can say npm run dev. Okay, we are on localhost 3000. Now I'm going to create a folder called hooks. So this is the folder that we've got called hooks. So inside this folder called hooks, I'm going to create a folder called use login mongo.tss. Then what I'm going to do, we're going to run a shorthand for creating a function. Okay, before that, let's import create Zoostart. Then let's create an interface login model with these props. Is open is a boolean. Okay, on open is a boolean, is void. Then on close is a void, it's a function. Then const use login is equals to create login model store with the props with the set is equals to is open is false, on open is set to is open, which is true. Then on close is set is open to false. So you see, that's how it's now a boolean. Is open is a boolean. So now that I'm able to set on close and on open, by default is open is set to false. So you can see that I've created a constant for you to use login. Then let's have a export. Okay, let's export our function use login model. So that's how we are able to set it to open and close using our use login model. Now let's say save all the changes that we applied. Close all files. All files. Let's close them. Now go into our components folder and create a new folder called model. Then inside this model, I'm going to add a file called login model.tsx. Make sure that you use tsx. Then I'm going to run rafc to create a function. That's my shorthand. Then okay, you can always delete the first line. The first line is being deleted on line number 1. So now we're left with our const global, and by default we exported it by default login model. Okay, copy this one, and we're going to be importing our login model here. So just have to remember to add brackets there, opening and a soft closing bracket, because we are going to be importing. So it's just a / in the left bracket and left pointing arrow. So now obviously it's an error, so we're going to import on line 4, import login model from add components model / login model. So that's how I've imported it. Okay, just a spelling error. Remember to just set models is models. So I need to rename this file. Okay, you just add in add s there the end so that you got it correctly. This error should go since I've edited it to mesh. Oh yeah, thank you. So that the error is gone. Now let's come inside our login model. I'm importing use login models and use register models, but the use register model does not exist yet. So let's remove it. Okay, let's save use callback and use state from React. Then let's say constant login model is equals to constant email and set email, constant password and set password, and constant is loading and set load. All they are using use state. So I'm going to say I'm going to say try. I'm going to add a try there. Set is loading to true. Then login model on close, or else let's save a cache error. Console log error, and finally set is loading to false. Login model is passed as a dependence array. So I've created a try and catch, and finally that's for set is loading. Const body content is equals to div. So we are now creating a div that we shall place inside our place display flex column get 4. Let's say the input placeholder email, and then okay, and let's have on change is set email event target event value email disabled is loading. So we'll copy this one and just paste it there below. So if we just copy this one, you can see that I've set the placeholder to email and type to email and set password. So you can see that I've just have got these two input values which I've set, and now I'm going to add something right at the top. Import input from the -- input. So that's how we are able to make sure that we have got our input component is removes an error there. Now I want to delete this one and run a new terminal. Users, okay, so I'm just going to run cd Twitter first, because if I don't, yes, then I'm make sure that I'm in the right direction. So npm run dev. So I've got now a div inside the return. I'm just going to remove that one and let's save a model component. So what we're going to do, we are going to add import model from -- model. So since we're going backwards twice, getting the folder model, so you can now see that I've imported model, but it's still showing an error there. That means there's something that is wrong there. So let me create disable is loading. Again, I'm property is open, login model dot is open. Then title login. These are some properties for the model. Action label signing. Also let's have on close login model dot close. Then on submit is goes to on submit, body goes to body content. So you can see that I'm importing, I've set a footer, and the footer is goes to footer content. So now footer is goes to footer content is showing an error because we haven't yet declared a constant variable for footer content. I can see that the body, okay, so you have to remove it, but the body on line 54 is not recording an error because we have already created a constant body. So now inside the folders structure, I'm going to use login models, this one that we created before, use login model. So if I reload this page, okay, remember use login is set to, if I set it to true is open, if I set it to true, that means it must appear on reloading. Yeah, they can see it's now appearing because I've set is open to true. and you can see the input, which is saying input and password, which I've created using constable body content. So now they are appearing correctly, and there's a button there, it's signing. So the model that we created is displayed this HTML structure. There you can see our body content, creating an email and a password, and I also got the title login. So if I delete, I close this one. Okay, let me close the files. Go inside our login and copy this one. Use login mode as we just copied that one, and then we come here and create. Okay, duplicate it inside the same folder. Then let's rename everything. Okay, so we are going to give it a different name there. Okay, I'm just going to call it use model. Okay, use register model. Use register model. Then remove the last one, copy, remove it there, remove, then leave it as use register model.ts. So now I'm just going to change use login model to use register model. Register model. There I've got the register model store. I also have got the login converted to register model. So that's how you can now see that I'm also going to change the export default to use register model. So now I've got this use register model that with the interface and the const declaration. So now going to a login models file. Okay, let me create a paste inside the login model. Just duplicate like we're doing, and then rename this one to erase back, and we need to rename everything here. I'm going to call it register model. There you can see I've got the register model now inside. Okay, so the register model and the login model are almost like just copying and pasting. Yeah, that will do it, because we're trying to create a register. We have already created a login model, then we're going to create a register for new users. This shall be for new users that will be able to register and be able to log in. So now you can see that. Okay, let me just move it there. I want to move it to rearrange the okay. So now what we're going to do is, since we're in register mode, we're going to remove this one. It's called const register model. It's no longer login, it's now const register model. This is quite easy, but it's very important. So we're creating a register model where you'll be logging in your details. Copy this one, and let's come in and just replace where it's necessary. Export default register model, replace the register model. So with now our register model. Now, so I'm below online 11. I'm going to say const register model is going to use register model. But we need to import this register model that we are declaring here. So that's why it's following. It's an undefined function, use register model. So I'm going to import register model from hooks, use register model. So if I do this, the errors will go. So now inside this file, I've declared a const register model. Then now let's add another one. Use username is equal to use state, and const name set name is equal to use state. So we are the very importance of use state. Make sure that you said you didn't forget to copy it right at the top of the page. Now if you go down below the so there you can see I now have got our cons logo. Try cons on submit use callback. So we need register model to replace, then let's pass on our dependents are to register model. So this is almost the same, but now that we have added, we've got our input there in password, but we need to add in some more inputs data to be collected on registering the user. So I need more details. It's different from logging in. We're going to add more details there. Cons body content. So now for the cons body content, I'm going to add copy and paste. This one will be use a name for the user. When you are registering, you need your user. We are also going to set name there, to change set name. Then also this one value is the name, and just set it to namespace path. Okay, name, yeah, just like this one is value is name. The placeholder is name as well, with capital letter N, then also capital letter N on set name. So you can see that now I also need we have set the name. We are going to have the username. So copy this one and come here below and paste it. So this one is for the name. So we're now going to have username there. Now let's change this one from set name to set username, capital letter U, capital letter U, username. So this is our username. Now let's have a value. Let's change this value to user name exactly. So this is my register model. So disable the set loading is open, then there's nothing to change there, but you can just copy it, cut it and paste it again. There's nothing to change there. Cons register model. Is open. Register model is open. Yes, because we had the login model, so we need it as a register. We need then we also going to change where there was COVID and online 70, come and replace register model on close. Then the title will be create new user. Yeah, that's how we are going to change, create a new user. X account, create X account. Yeah, like that one. Say let's action label. Let's change it from sign in. Obviously, you're going to have it as sign up. Then sign up. Then okay, or register. So now I've created the register model. I'm not going to go inside our app TSX and let's add the next one is register model, obviously to show you an error because the register model is not here. It's an undefined. So you import register model from a component model slash register model. That's how we import it. Now we can now see that this is the register model that we wanted. You can see there's an email, name, username, and password. So in the created account, the label. Okay, that's how it's different. If you are finding this content very helpful and very helpful to help you in your career to grow as a web front-end developer or a back-end developer, please do not forget to subscribe and like my videos. Const footer is equals to div class name neutral. So we have added a footer with the paragraph register already registered, then span signing. So this is a const footer with the div and the class name. Let me style it. The span, let me give you some styling. Text white, cursor pointer, over underline. So this is a const footer that you've declared, but you can see that on reloading the page already registered, it's not appearing on the login model. It's not appearing. That means there is something that I need to add. But yeah, okay, I'll create account. There is okay. Now if I reload this page, okay, let me close this one. Oh, these models. So now I have, with the register model, I have to add the footer. Const footer is equals to footer content. Footer is equals to footer content. Now you can see that I've added yeah, like it's now appearing there because if you edit it on the last line there, so already register and sign up. So now this one has been added. When I create an X account, so you can now see that I've added the in case. Then I'm going to have const toggle is equals to use toggle back if is loading, return register model on close login model dot open. Then this pass statement is login model and register model and is loading. We're passing the dependencies. Then we are going to have on toggle the one that we just declared const on toggle. So now const footer coded. Let's say on click it will trigger on toggle. Yes, this one will return on the login model. So that's how you return back, and that's how you're able to switch back to the login model from the create account from the register model. So now I've added that functionality where you're able, if you already have an account, you just click, then the on toggle, const on toggle, use callback will be called. So now I'm going to copy this one, const on toggle, and let's come into our login model, and we are going to paste it there so that we just do like the reverse of what we're doing, so that you're able to switch between the login and logout model. So it's const on register model is not defined. Yeah, that's an error that you're going to get there. So for this error, since register model is not defined, okay, I'm going to have to import register model. So import use register model from hooks, use register model. So that's how you are able to solve this one. So okay, delete line 1. Yeah, and press it closer to below the use callback use state. Then so now I'm going to have to const footer. I have it. Copy it from register model. Then let's go back to our login model. register model is not defined. I still got this error. So what you're going to do, yeah, you can import it, use register model from it use register model. So now I'm now going to declare const register model is equals to use register model. If I've imported this one, I must not get an error, but it's still showing an error. That means there's something that is wrong there. Okay, I need to check where we're getting it wrong. This is the paragraph text. So change the paragraph text to new to inside our body, new to X. So this is the text that will appear in case on the login model in case the user is already then create an account, create X account. Span text will be create X account. This is the text that will appear in the login model. Like I said, you are new to, and that will direct you to the register model. So below is supposed to appear below. So now let's add on line 82, let's add footer is equals to footer dot content, footer content. So in case, yeah, if you read this one, the text should appear on our login model. Yeah, there it is. New to X account, create an X account. So that's how you're able to. Now what we need is to be able to redirect on click. What we need is to redirect on click. Okay, capital letter T. Okay. So now going on to the top of the code, you now see that the register model is no longer appearing as an error because we have successfully imported. Then login model is set to open by default. Okay, I place it on top of register model on line 24. There's some spacing there. Now if I set login model on open, dot close login model dot close, then the opposite is register model dot open. So if I close, yeah, if I on click, you can now see that the register model is set to open on click and the register model is set. You're able to switch between login and register model by just setting on line 25 and line 26. So now we're going to go inside use login model. Is open is set to true. Now I'm going to set it to false so that it doesn't appear by default. Okay, let's close all the unnecessary folders, files. Let's close some folders what we don't need. And so you can now see that now what I want is that on clicking this X button, I want it to direct me to the login model. Okay, so to do that, let's side tweet button, go and click that one. So I want the side click button on clicking. I want it to show me the login model. So now I'm going to say const on click use callback. Click use callback. Then for the div on click, like this one, I left it empty, so I'm going to say on click it will trigger a constable that you've declared const on clicks. Then I'm going to have use login is equals to use login model. So now let's import those two on line 8 and line 9. Use login model. We have imported this line on line 3 we set. Then we are also going to import use callback. Login model dot open. So you now see on clicking the on click, you are going to set the login model to open. So that's how you initiate it. Then we're going to pass in the dependency array login model. So that's how you did on click. On clicking the sidebar tweet button, it is going to trigger on login to set it to on open. Now let me come here and split my terminal. I'm going to make some additional installations. Let's come here and say cd Twitter to make sure that I'm in the right directory. Then inside the site, I'm going to say npm install dash d Prisma. So we're going to be using our Prisma for the authentication and make sure that the details are correctly added. So we are using Prisma for authentication of user details. So now let's import Prisma. Okay, there you have. I've added the packages for Prisma. It has added 6 packages. So now I'm going to delete the first one, the first terminal that I was running, and obviously we are going to have to rerun the terminal again. Let's say npm Prisma init. Before you run the terminal, just make sure that you say npm Prisma init. This will initialize Prisma. Now we are going to come inside our file and we are going to have we have now have a new folder with Prisma schema Prisma. So this is where we've got our new file. So now we also have got the env file with just some default. So for the schema.prisma, we are going to change the post to MongoDB since we are going to be using MongoDB for our editing. Okay, so now I'm going to add an external extension. Come inside your external extension and let's search for Prisma, because we are going to add an extension for Prisma. Your Prisma installations will not work if you don't have Prisma. So this is what we want. We want the Prisma extension. So run or click on install. Okay, now I've finished installing Prisma, which extension Prisma. There you can see, so my development server has been cut off. We are going to have to add MongoDB since this is our database that we are going to be having. So let me come here and just set Mongo Atlas. This is going to be our online database that we're going to be using. We need to register. Okay, we are inside our database MongoDB that we created. What we're going to do again, Let's run create. If you are finding my content very useful and very helpful in your career, please don't forget to subscribe and like and leave us some comments on my video, in all of my videos. The cloud provider, just leave it as it is. Okay, I'm going to type in create new project. I'm going to give it a name, Twitter. So we have got our project which has been created called Twitter. Then create project. So we have created a project called Twitter inside our MongoDB. So now click on databases. Then click on build a database. Then select free, the one on the extreme right side of the screen, and make sure that you have got this footer called free create. Now let's go on for create. Click on create. I'm just going to hide my username and password. You can see that there's a green tick, cluster is finished provisioning. But I'm going to temporarily change my username and last name and password. Then let's type create user. So you can always add my current IP address. It's among the access IP access list. Then click on finish and close. Then you're going to get a message that congratulations on setting up your setting up access rules. Then you can always click on this one. Just click on never save. Then click on connect. Then click on Mongo for VS Code, this one. Click on that one. Then you are going to be provided with your connection string with command into we are going to paste our connection string into the command palette. So make sure that you copy this one, connection string. We are going to replace our database URL with the string that we have just copied. Make sure that you copy it. Now we can close our env in the schema Prisma file. And let's save module name, username string unique. Let's save bio, users string optional, email string is optional indeed, unique, email verified, datetime is optional, image string. Then let's save a cover image string optional. Then hash password string is optional, created at datetime by default, at default nano. So that's how you then update it. Datetime updated, it updated. Then follow ID string database dot object ID. Is notifications is a boolean string. Post equals to post comments. Notifications is a notification. So we're going to have a model post. Then I'm going to have a model for post. For the post, we're going to have an ID with a string at ID and a map. Then we're going to have a body for the model for post, and then we're also going to have a created at. So these are the details that will be posted, then updated at, then also user ID, then likes and IDs. We're also going to have an image string, then user. So these are the details that we are going to have for model posts. So this information is very important because this is the one that I'm going to post to schema. Then we're also going to have a comments for model post. Then model comment for this one is for comments that will be getting from. We're going to have an ID, a map and database. Then we're going to have a body and a created it, updated it. Then user ID is a string, post ID is a string, then user a relation, post a relation. Then we're also going to have a model for notifications. We have got an ID, body, user ID, created it is a date and time, and then also have got a for user a relation, fields and references and on delete. So now back to my database, you can see that I have created a database project called Twitter, the database. Okay, I need this. Okay, there we are. So you can now see that I've got model comment, model notification. So these are the modules that we are going to be applying inside our posting to our database. So inside this schema.prisma. So this file is very important. File is very important. So let's come into our env. On this terminal, I'm going to rerun so I'm going to say cd Twitter. Then make sure that yes, you are in the right directory. So I'm going to say npx prisma init prisma db push. So we are pushing all the changes that we've made onto our schema.prisma. So using npx prisma db push, we are pushing all these changes to our database. You can see I've created the model component, notifications, and model user. So these are the changes that we are putting onto our database automatically direct from our Visual Studio Code editor. So that's the beauty about Visual Studio Code editor, in the sense that you are able to push changes to our MongoDB without needing to go physically inside. Okay, let me kill the first terminal and let's clear this history. And let's try npx prisma database db push. Okay, I need to add an additional project named Twitter to the right at the end of the database. So because that's why I'm getting an error. It's saying your provide database string is invalid. So I'll do it again. It's Prisma db push. With our last corrections where we added on the database URL, I added the project name Twitter right at the end there. So with these changes, now there you can see the changes have just been allowed to successfully run. So make sure that you have added your project name right at the end there of your connection string. Let's allow access. So you can see the changes have been applied correctly. We have collected all the details that we pasted, that we're coding inside the Prisma schema.prisma. So now if I reload this web page, after reloading this page, okay, now after reloading this page, let me click on browse collections. There you can see the changes that we're doing on Prisma schema.prisma. There you can see now I've got the model, poll, comment, notifications, post, and use. They've now been directly created inside our MongoDB. So that's the beauty about MongoDB. You can see that MongoDB, we have actually made changes directly from our Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to say npm install at prisma / clients. So now I've installed Prisma, Prisma/client. Now I'm going to run npm run dev so that I run again the development server. Remember, the changes that we've applied are too many, so we are going to need to. Now let's create a folder called libs. I'm going to add a file called Prisma db.ts. So inside this file called Prisma db.ts, import Prisma client from a Prisma client. Then let's create declare a global with variable Prisma is equal to Prisma client. Then and pipe undefined. Then const client is equals to global this dot Prisma pipe new Prisma client. If process.env.not.ev is not equal to production global this dot Prisma is equals to export default client. So now I've created a clustable code client. Now if I close these files, okay, let me close these files and minimize some of the folders. We are now on hooks. Now inside the folder API, I'm going to create another folder called authentication. Then inside authentication, I'm going to create a file called open square brackets, in closing square bracket, let's say dash next auth outside bracket .ts. Now I'm going to come inside the terminal and say cd Twitter, like this. Yeah, that's the correct spelling for Twitter. Now let's come inside our Twitter and we are going to run npm run install npm install bcrypt. So we're installing bcrypt. So I've added npm install bcrypt. So we are going to say npm install dash d at tabs / bcrypt. So now we have added one package. So now I've installed the bcrypt and I've also installed -p. Then I'm going to say npm install next -auth. So we're installing authentication. Okay, so we are done with installing NextAuth. So now I'm going to say npm install it next -auth / Prisma adapter. So we are done with these installations. We are going to run npm run dev inside our to restart our development server. Okay, so something went wrong, so let me let me rename this file to make sure that you have got 4 dots actually, and we come back and we run the npm run dev again. Then come inside this folder nextauth.s file, import precrypt, import NextAuth from options, then let's import credentials provider from NextAuth, then let's import Prisma adapt from NextAuth Prisma, then let's import Prisma from it leaves Prisma MB, then let's export const auth options is equals to auth options. And then we create a function. Okay, we create on open closing brackets, then adapter is equals to Prisma adapter inside brackets Prisma providers inside square brackets credentials provider. We are extracting, then let's say names equals to credentials is equals to inside double email is a label called email, then type text, then let's say password is equals to a label password with the type password. You can see that there are too many. Let's say asynchronous authorize credentials is equals to if not credentials dot is not an optional pipe credentials is not an optional credentials pipe dot password throw new error invalid credentials. So this is how we are doing a next authentication. So now let me create a space and let's create const user is equals to await prisma dot user find unique where email is equals to credentials dot email. If not user pipe is not user optional dot hash password throw new error invalid credentials. Const is correct password is equals to await bcrypt dot compare credentials dot password user dot hash the password. If is not equal to correct password, if that is not correct, then throw new error. Yes, if that is not correct on line, if line 32 is not correct, invalid credentials, then let's return user, then debug is equals to process dot env dot node env is identical to development session begins. Then let's start a session with strategy jwt is equals to inside brackets secret process dot env next authentication date jyt underscore secret. Then the secret is equals to process dot env dot next underscore secret. So you can see that I'm getting an error on bcrypt. Okay, on line number 1 I must import is like IM, not starting with an M. So if I import bcrypt successfully, I'm not supposed to have any more errors inside this project. Yeah, they can see correctly. Everything is now being correct. Now let's come inside our env file. Next authentication underscore jwt dash secret. Copy that one and you come here and you paste it this. And we also are adding to our .env, we are adding next authentication dash underscore wjt and secret. We are also adding next authentication underscore secret. Just make sure that the text changes to blue color. Make sure that the text is now in blue color. That is very, very important. And we copy that. And you paste it in front, inside brackets. Yeah, you can see you're supposed to get it. You see that this text that you are pasting this string inside is showing in a red, orange color, maroon color. That will be perfect. Now let's also copy next authentication underscore secret and paste it inside these brackets. Next authentication, and remember to place an underscore between next auth and authentication, next and auth and an underscore. So we have updated our .env file. If you are liking my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press on the like and leave out some comments. This will help my channel grow. Then let's create a file called register.ts inside the, okay, it's inside the IP folder, register.ts. So you go to your folder pages, okay, inside this file, next authentication, I'm just going to register.ts. Let's import bcrypt from bcrypt next API and API response from next. Then let's import Prisma from eclipse /prisma-db. And then let's do an export default asynchronous function handler request is equals to next API response. Then response is equals to next API response. Then let's have open and closing brackets. We're going to say if request.method is not equal to post, then we are going to have this open and closing brackets, return response dot status 405 dot end try const email / username / name password is equals to request body const hashed password is equals to await bcrypt dot hash password. Const user is equals to await prisma dot user dot create is equals to data is an email, username, name and hashed password, retain response status. So we have now created a const for user, const hashed password, and now we are retaining a user status. This will help us in when creating a new user. So this function, this file that we have created, it's all about collecting the datas and then pass to them. Then let's on the last one, let's say return rest status 200 kso. Then I'm going to catch an error since I've used to try console.log. If that is not the correct one, then error. So this one would display an error. Now let's save inside our libs folder. Let's create a file called server auth.ts. Let's import next API request and next API response. Then let's import Prisma from Eclipse first. Then let's import get session from NextAuth. So I'm going to say const server auth is equals to asynchronous request new request API is equals to const session await get session request Now, if it's not a session, optional is user.email, optional user.email, throw new error, not signed in. Current user is called await prisma.user.find unique, where email session.user.email. If current user is not, throw new error. So that's how we are going to have a not signed in. So this is the authentication for in case it is not signed in. Then we are going to retain current user. Export server auth. Now for this one, I'm just going to say await get session inside brackets request, yeah, like this. So we have created prisma.ts. We can now close it. We'll also have got a .env file. We have updated it. Then we've also got next authentication inside battery. Now what we are going to do, I'm going to have to create another file called current.tsx ts inside pages folder API. So inside the current.ts file. So now I'm inside the current TSS file, TSS. So we are going to import next API in response, then import server auth. Then we are going to say export default asynchronous function handler requests, next API requests. Then we are going to add response, next API response. So if request.method is not equal to get, return response 405 end. Then else try and catch. We're going to have a try and catch. Say const current user is equals to await Prisma, await save authentication request, return status 200 JSON current user. Then else catch error console.log error, return response status 400. So that's about the current session that we have inside the. Then let's add in 500. Then you can also, yeah, that's it. So now inside the current TSS file, we are just going to copy this one and come inside our register.tss file and just paste this one, this return status 400.end. So now I'm going to go inside the folder hooks, and let's create another file called use current user.tss. Okay, let's make sure that we are in the right file. I'll just do lists. Okay, then let's have cd. Okay, close these files. Make sure that you have saved all your changes. And then let's have cd Twitter, so that we make sure that we're in the right directory. Okay, now for this Twitter, I'm going to say npm install swr. Well, so we're installing swr there. So devs, this was it for the first video. Don't forget to watch the second video for the final and completing of the full stack clone. So make sure that you follow on along the description. You will find a link to our second and last video. So see you there.